Master Johnson back here with another one for you. And a beautiful car video. Guys, the universe is not testing you because you are the universe. Okay, so what's happening is when you buy into the thought patterns, the belief systems, that in order for you to have and receive something, but first you must pass the test of the universe, my friends, you create the universe. 100% of all of this is happening inside of your consciousness. So imagine if I was afraid of my own laugh, and then I saw something hilarious, and then as I am laughing, I'm also absolutely terrified. That would be that'd be a little silly, right? Imagine if I was afraid of my cough, got sick, and then now I have a cough, and every single time I coughed, I flinched and I reacted. This is the same exact way as life works. So if you say, oh, this is the test that the universe has given me, well, then what you're doing is you are then recreating more tests in front of you. Now, let me make it make sense. See, I am a man of God. I don't necessarily have a religion, but I do have a relationship with Christ. And let me tell you, what I've been able to recognize and realize through the I am consciousness that I have that has given me the access to the God within me, then I get to the point where I come to realize that our God is a very unconditionally loving God. So now think about this. If God, of all things, we'll say universe, so to speak, says, hey, here's the test that I'm going to give Brandon to see how he does, and if he fails this test, then he's not going to receive the life at which I know is destined for him and he knows is destined for him. See, if God has unconditional love, he also gave us this thing called the freedom of choice. So if we had nothing but tests in front of us, my friends, watch this. If I cannot pass this test that I was created and now I'm being tested by, this thing called life, and if I don't test correctly, if I don't pass the test of life, well, then I'm continuously going to be stuck in the old self, stuck in my own personal hell. That seems very unconditional. Now, where does freedom of choice come? That's where this thing called your conscious awareness and perspective. You may have heard me talk a lot about your definitions, your meanings, and your stories. See, the definition that you give is the freedom of your will. The stories that you give is the freedom of your will. The meaning that you give is your free will. Now, if you're trying to manifest your best reality, align with the greatest timeline, shift to the best identity, for you to be able to hold and have the respect for yourself so you can finally be happy. But first, you have to pass all these tests just from the perspective, the position of your conscious awareness saying, I must pass the tests in order for me to have what I am already blessed with. Then you will automatically shift to a reality where now you have tests. Now watch this. The reason why you shifted to that reality is because you use your freedom of will, your free choice that Heavenly Father has given you for you to choose and create, to lay down conditions, lay down blocks, and lay down all these things in front of you for you to finally feel valuable enough to receive what you want through the free will that God has given you. And the unconditional love that says, all right, well, if Brandon wants to believe that there's tests in front of them or in front of him, then Heavenly Father, I am consciousness says, okay, your wish is your command. Here's the reality where now you have tests. So the only reason why you feel like the universe is testing you is because someone has told you that the universe tests you. Now, this is the flip side of the coin. I believe that our soul consciousness, our evolution, okay, needs catalysts that feel like challenges or problems, but actually are only opportunities for you to have more personal connection to the God within you and more opportunities to introduce unconditional love. See, because if I'm dealing with challenges and then I fight those challenges, I'm automatically giving energy to those challenges, which then they grow. However, if I can see the challenge through my I am consciousness, give the correct definition, meaning, and story, and then through that be able to develop an internal belief system, connection, unconditional love, and then give empowering definitions and stories and meanings for me to expand into and experience that life that I now have been able to select and choose, well, then now I don't have tests. I only have opportunities of personal development. But it's hard to develop myself if I'm always putting myself down, if I'm always focused on the lack, if I'm always focused on the shame, the guilt, the worry, the fear, and the doubt. Because the same situation could also be the biggest level up in my life through the definitions, meanings, and stories that I choose through my free will to give. So, my friends, let me say this again. The universe and God are not testing you unless you choose to decide that the universe and God is testing you. And then through your free will, your freedom of choice, you will then choose the reality where you are constantly being tested. This is huge. Now I'm going to share something a little bit more personal with you. About 2.5 weeks ago, I watched my fiance give birth to my 14-week stillborn son, right? And it's okay, we're all doing well, but with going through that experience, the pain that I felt, and this is how my mind works, it actually has allowed me to take my conscious expansion to a whole new horizon. That through the law of polarity and the law of duality, because I experienced such pain, I now will be able to experience such love. See, because I have dealt and experienced that pain, and then the story, definition, and meaning that I have given is my businesses or business, let's say this one, will be a multi-million-dollar business by the end of 2026, if we're speaking in linear perspective. But since everything's happening right now, because I felt the pain of watching my lovely woman give birth to my stillborn son, that pain has been a catalyst for me to do what I love to do at a deeper level, and then transmute that challenge into an opportunity for me to become even closer connected to God and my woman and my children that shall come into this realm. Does this make sense? Now, I'm not sharing that to gain your sympathy. I'm sharing that as a real life example that says, because I went through that, my content is going to be so potent. Don't you? I mean, I know you can feel the energy, but I can flip open my camera inside of my beautiful car and drop a video like this because this is what I love to do. So because the experience of pain that I felt, I could have said, oh, that's a test to see if God's going to love me or what. No, it's not. That's an opportunity for me to give a deeper definition, meaning, and story so that I can expand and experience a higher level of consciousness so that I can experience a higher level of love, right? Now, I don't want this video to go too long, but essentially, it's time for you to kind of take some ownership, all right? It's time for you to go ahead and actually finally believe in the fact that you can do this. That this thing in life is not one big giant test. No, this thing is created for you, by you, for then you to observe you, overcome everything. All right, anyway. Hopefully, you've been able to maybe have some shifts here. Feel free to go ahead and drop any questions you may have inside of the comments. Do the things with the buttons. If you would like to work closer with myself and my team, please put your name on the wait list. Got a lot of special things coming in for the new year. My name is Master Johnson, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care.